E-Butter go crazy. E-Butter go crazy.
YouTube, what's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be on Week 12's winners and losers, guys. 5 guys at each position that I feel like had a great week that we need to talk about them winning to recap it, right? Also, a couple losers to recap that to know what they are going forward. So, guys, with no further ado, make sure you put the questions in the chat. Sign up for my OnlyFans if you want to support the channel, guys. Only $10 a month. But once I get these fantasy football championships this year, it will go up because I know my value. So, guys, let me get to the couple people in the chat. And there you go. There you go. Racky 2000, loyal supporter, guys. Been following me for over a year and a half now, maybe even longer. He said, oh, yeah, let's go. Yes, sir, bruh. And he says, click the like button, y'all. Yes, sir. Click the like button. And let me see. I'm going to get to a couple of these chats, and then I'm going to get to my content. And Devo, what's up, bro? Marcel. He says, hey, what's good, bro? What do I do with Damian Pierce slacking? Bro, he's a flex play. And if you got better flex plays, you might have to bench him. So you got to build up your team. You just can't bench him because you're angry. You have to build up a good team where you got other running backs that are better than him or other flex plays that's better than him. So that I get it, bro. It's not him. It's the game script. So if you got other guys that are getting more targets and getting more carries, scoring more points, then you put him to the flex and you let those guys outdo him. But he's no longer RB1 or RB2. He's a flex play. So you have to weigh him up with your flexes. That's where you come into the chat and say, TD, who did I play? Damian Pierce or this? He's on that level now. And it's also another guy that's on that level. And I'm going to be talking about him as a loser in this video. He's a flex play going forward. Great question, though, bro. Great question. Make sure y'all hit the like button, guys. And George Cook, what's going on, George? He says, Miles Sanders raw dogged my team last night and cost me my 30-point lead. Now I'm only up 1, and my opponent has Pittman Jr., and I have to pick between the Steelers D and the Colts D. What do I do? I'm picking the Steelers D. Pick the Steelers D. That's the only thing that you can do, bro, and hope for the best. Sometimes fantasy goes down like that. And guys, if anybody want to come up on the show and chop it up with me for whatever reason, you got a question, you want to talk about how you did, the link is in the description. Here you go, right here. And Alex says, yo, what's up, Alex? Yes, sir, bro. Zero, that's the zero RB guy, right? I'm talking, guys, a lot of people that talk about they zero RB, they not really zero RB. Alex is the most zero RB person that I ever known. Like, I'll be talking about Rashad White. He'd be like, there's too many running backs. Too many running backs, TD. Too many running. I'm like, bro, but he's good. He's like, still too many. You might need to have like 1 or 2 or 3, and then you finagle those accordingly who's doing good. He don't like drafting running backs early, and I respect that about him. That's a true zero RB guy, and he knows his fantasy too. Been supporting me for a while. And Alex says, good luck tonight. Yes, sir, bro. And Dean James Talley said, what's up, bro? It's a W. Is Christian Watson a must start for the rest of the season? Yes, sir. That's my winner, one of my winners. He's a must-start rest of the season. But he's a volatile. He's a big play guy. So you got to know big play guys, they usually ain't hyper-targeted. Jamar Chase was a hyper-targeted big play guy, which that's why his numbers were so phenomenal. So Christian Watson is a big play guy, so he could go for 8 points or 5 points, but then he could go for 20 points, 30 points, 40 points. So I'd rather play him in my flex. That's why I got him. I don't care how good he does. He's going to always be a flex guy because he's boom or bust. But that boom is so tremendous, I'm rolling him out there every week. All right, guys, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my quarterbacks. Let's talk about the winners first. Mike White. Guys, he's a starter for the rest of the season. Now, listen, I'm not the coach, right? But if I'm that coach, Zach Wilson, as long as Mike White is throwing less than 1 pick a game, he's starting. Zach Wilson was terrible. I mean, it was real bad. Like, Taysom Hill is a better quarterback than Zach Wilson. It's guys out there that we say they can't play, and they better than Zach Wilson. So I think Mike White is the starter for the rest of the season. They could have went to Joe Flacco, but Joe Flacco is older. They don't want to give it to a guy like Joe Flacco, and I get that. So Mike White will be the starter for the rest of the season. And if you in Dynasty, go buy low on Zach Wilson. And what I mean by that, go spend and get a 3rd-round pick. Don't give up no 1st or 2nd no more. He's no longer that. So go spend a pretty penny. I mean, not a pretty penny, but like a 4th round pick, maybe 3rd round, and go get Zach Wilson and this stash him. He might be playing on another team, kind of like Geno Smith, right? We picked up Geno Smith and then he played bad and then nobody knew about him for years. That's what you're going to have to do with Zach Wilson. Maybe he gets better, so you stash him. All right, moving on. Derek Carr is a winner. Derek Carr hasn't been playing good for a long time, over a year. But last week he looked good. I don't know if it was the Seahawks defense or if it was Derek Carr, but either way, it didn't look good to me. Well, it didn't look good for the Seattle spot. But Derek Carr, at least you took advantage of that defense. Josh Jacobs softened up for you, and you sliced the cake. It is what it is. So I got to give Derek Carr. Do I think he's a fantasy startable guy for the rest of the season? No, I do not. But I think he was good, so you got to hold on to him and see what he does. But as in right now, week 12 or going into week 13, I don't believe he's an every week starter. Next is Trevor Lawrence. That's Trevor Lawrence from Clemson right there. That's Trevor Lawrence from Clemson. That's the best prospect I've ever seen that everybody talked about. There you go, right there. There you go, bro. That's your first game that I saw. If you can do that, I'm not saying you got to do that every game, but you need to build up off of that. So way to go, Doug Peterson. Trevor Lawrence guy in Dynasty, he's still going to be high for you, especially after this game. So I believe Trevor Lawrence is a guy that you should be streaming, that you should stash, because he might have found something out. I love the way he was giving those 50-50 balls. That's Trevor Lawrence. That's how he beat Alabama in the championship. Those 50-50 balls, not people running wide open and you looking for them. You got to throw up 50-50 balls. That's what Aaron Rodgers do. That's what Pat Mahomes do. That's why they're great. So Trevor Lawrence, guys, go stash him starting now. He could be a good quarterback for you to have in your fantasy playoffs. 2 more guys. Next is Jordan Love. Jordan Love, guys, I know it was just in the middle of the game, but he looked decent playing with Christian Watson. And so maybe you can go ahead and see something that you like in Jordan Love and you can stash him. Not redraft, really. But for redraft, it's case Aaron Rodgers goes down. That's why. But more for long term for him to be the alpha that we think he could be is in Dynasty. So, yeah, it might cost you a little bit more now, but I think Jordan Love is the guy that you can go and stash. And then redraft guys, you got to have him. If you struggling with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, you got to have Jordan Love. You got to go get him right now. This is your bid, because Aaron Rodgers could miss a couple weeks, but he's stubborn. So by him being stubborn, he could say, I'm not going to sit out at all and try to stunt Jordan Love growth. But then the coaches could come in and say, Aaron, I'm going to sit you out because I want your thumb. I'm not going to sit here. We need you for next year, which could be truthful, could be a lie, whatever, because he's on a year-to-year deal, even though it's kind of guaranteed. It's weird. So, guys, Jordan Love is a guy that you got to pick up because Aaron Rodgers could miss a couple of weeks. All right, last but not least is Taylor Heinicke. He didn't have a great output. He had like 16 fantasy points. But, guys, that's a streamable guy. Because, look, week 14 or week 13, one of those weeks is going to be a bad bye. It's going to be like 5 teams on a bye. All those guys is going to be out. So, what I would tell you to do is to go Tyler Heinicke is a guy that I feel comfortable with playing if I got to stream a quarterback, because he's hyper targets Terry McLaurin. He makes his offense better. That's why they're on a trend to go to the real playoffs. So I do like Taylor Heinicke going forward, guys. Let me see. All right, let's move on to let me answer a couple of questions. Let me see. Okay. And Mr. Anderson says, YouTube, what up, bro? Need a 30-piece tonight from Pickens, and Jacobs went crazy on me yesterday. Yeah, Jacobs went crazy. So if you didn't have Jacobs, you got to go fight against that. Hey, it is what it is. But Pickens, you got the right player. Out of anybody in this game, I'd rather have Pickens. I think Pickens has a little bit more upside than Najee. All right. So let's get on, guys, to the wide receivers. So the first wide receiver is Christian Watson. Now, listen, I'm not talking about Christian Watson because I'm going to say I told you so. But I'm going to tell you I told you so. This is my guy. Now, listen, he doesn't catch the ball great, but his big playability is phenomenal. So, guys, I think rest of the season, Christian Watson is a league-winning player. He's a winner this week, and I think he's going to continue to be winner on most weeks going forward. He's probably going to be the league winner player like Amon-Ra St. Brown or Jamar Chase was last year. I think that's Christian Watson. Moving on, Chris Godwin. He's a winner this week. He has arrived. He struggled earlier in the season, right? because of the injury. And so now that injury is getting better. He's playing. He's getting callous to that injury. That injury has to callous up. That's healing. So now, guys, he's out there moving a little bit more fluent. He's getting open. Tom Brady still hyper-target him. It could have been a matchup, but I still trust it. It's Godwin. He's been getting, 10 targets every game. So Godwin is a winner, guys. You want to go ahead and roll him out there. You shouldn't be trying to compare him with players anymore because you got this week, so you got to roll him out there. Next is Zay Jones. Now, listen, Zay Jones is a winner now. I'm saying he's a starter for the rest of the season. No, but he's a flex play. Yes, sir. He's a flex play. So I'm going to have Zay Jones out there as a flex, guys, if I got Zay Jones. Especially with Trevor Lawrence looking like the way he looked. He hasn't looked like that ever in his career with those 50-50 balls. And Zay Jones was the guy who had a great vertical leap and was fast. But we never seen it nowhere else where he was drafted. But like in let me see, the Las Vegas Raiders, we didn't see that. But now Trevor Lawrence throwing those 50-50 balls in the red zone, and I mean not in the red zone, that was to Marvin Jones, but like in the between the 20s, that looked phenomenal. So I love Zay Jones going forward. He is a flex play. Next, guys, is DJ Moore. Lone Sam Darnold. Lone Sam Darnold in there. You rolling out DJ Moore. DJ Moore, he knows what DJ Moore is. So that's why Terrence Marshall, I'm done with him. Long Sam Darnold is playing. I'm not playing no Terrence Marshall. So anybody that I told to play Terrence Marshall, I apologize. Because now that Sam Darnold in there, he's going to hyper target DJ Moore and then that's going to keep them a good game script dependent, and that's going to let Deontay Foreman continue to eat. So last but not least, guys, is Garrett Wilson. Mike White, that's all I got to say. Garrett Wilson is a straight. He's not my favorite wide receiver coming out of this draft, but I know he's a great route runner. I know that, but great route runner don't make you take my team to the next level. That's why I champion Christian Watson over him. But now that Garrett Wilson has Mike White throwing him the ball, this guy's going to be good. So, hey, he could be a league winner. Him and Christian Watson are going to be league-winning players if Mike White stay back there, which I'm pretty sure he is. All right, guys, so that was that. Let's get on to my running back winners. Samaje Perine. I told a lot of people to play him. Like, I wasn't going to tell you to bench, because I did tell one of my subscribers, I told him not to bench Dameon Pierce for him, but you needed to try to get Samaje Perine in the lineup. And I still believe that. Now, Dameon Pierce, I'm not starting. He's a flex play now. So Samaje Perine will start over him if Joe Mixon doesn't come back. But I'm not just going to sit my studs for a guy that got a little bit of sauce. That's what happens. That's how you can play bad fantasy. So I love Samaje Perine going forward. As long as Joe Mixon out, it's easy. Next is A.J. Dillon. Now, listen, is he a starter for the rest of the season? No, but he looked good this week. So, guys, if you're in a tight spot, you're looking for a running back on the waivers, go ahead and get A.J. Dillon and start him because you see in this game. So, for the next week, I will start A.J. Dillon if I'm looking for a running back off waivers or have a running back on bye. Next is Rashard White. Guys, anytime Rashard White is out there and Leonard Fournette out there, you play him because, especially in PPR now, standard, no. But in PPR, yes. Guys, he's going to get hyper-targeted. All Tom Brady running backs has been getting more targets than CMC, Austin Eckler, any pass-catching running back, Alvin Kamara, the running back on Tampa Bay has been out targeting him. So I would love Rashard White, especially in PPR. Next is Deontay Foreman. Guys, with Sam Darnold being in there, and then he's a winner this week because he had a pretty good game, I'm rolling Deontay Foreman out there every week now, along with Sam Darnold, the quarterback. So with Sam Darnold, I'm not going to call him a winner, but that he keeps this offense going good. So I like all the weapons with Sam Darnold, like Deontay Foreman and DJ Moore. And last but not least is Isaiah Pacheco. Now, they did pick up Melvin Gordon, but that doesn't scare me. I still believe Isaiah Pacheco is going to catch some passes, and he's going to get goal line opportunities. But if Melvin Gordon get going, it could hurt Pacheco. It doesn't look great already with Jared McKinnon there, but I still think this guy is okay. You got to have him on your team. You can't have him on the bench. All right, guys, moving to my last is tight ends. Yes. So the first tight end I'm going to talk about is the winner is Josh Oliver. He was the number one tight end the whole week. Now, listen, is he a starter every week? No. But with Rashad Bateman being out, is if you need a spot start for a tight end, and I know Josh Oliver's out there, that's a great guy to pick up, even over Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill's been that guy for weeks. You don't got a tight end. If Taysom Hill out there, put him in, he could go boom. No, now I would actually say put Josh Oliver in that spot. If you need a tight end and streamer guy, I think he's the number one streaming tight end because of his capabilities and no weapons for the Lamar Jackson. and Mark Andrews was out there. So that even makes me even feel better. Now, Isaiah Likely was out. So if Isaiah Likely is out, I might go down and maybe pivot off that. But I still think that Lamar's going to hyper-target his tight ends. All right, moving on. David Njoku is a winner. And the reason why I like David Njoku, guy, because I've been on him. I know he was a great athlete, but he finally put it together. That's why he got a deal. A lot of people, y'all could not understand why I was telling you David Njoku. And I understand it, right? Everybody ain't the same. I'm not acting like I'm the best talent observer of all time because I miss some people too. But David Njoku, I knew what he was, and I didn't need to see him be hyper-targeted. A lot of y'all wait for the C stuff, and that's why you always going to be trailing. Sometimes, listen, you might be wrong, but take an opportunity. That's what life is. The lottery is just an opportunity. But you don't play it, you don't put the numbers in, you don't win. You don't take a chance on a guy like David Njoku, you don't win. So you got to take chances. You got to take opportunities in fantasy. You can't be scared. But you got to be, so it's a balance between not being crazy, but not being scared. Moving on. Dalton Schultz. Guys, now that Dalton Schultz is out there playing, is healthy with his knee, Dak Prescott, that's his number one target. And getting all the touchdowns. So Dalton Schultz, guys, has moved up as a top 5 tight end. I said what I said. He's a top 5 tight end rest of the season. All right, we got 2 more guys. TJ Hawkinson. Guys, with TJ Hawkinson having a bunch of weapons like Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, KJ Osborne, Dalvin Cook, Alexander Mattison, Kirk Cousins, and also a good offensive coordinator, TJ Hawkinson can finally be TJ Hawkinson. Don't ask TJ Hawkinson to be Travis Kelce. Ask him to be a top 12 tight end consistently, and he can do that. And that's what he is. He's a top 12 tight end consistently. So you play him. If you got him on your team, I wouldn't stream anybody. I would just put TJ Hawkinson in my lineup. All right, guys. Last but not least is Hunter Henry. Yes, guys, Hunter Henry. And the reason why I think Hunter Henry is a winner, Matt Jones had a good game there. Is he going to have games like that in the future? I think so. I think he's got to get better. I trust Bill Belichick and those coaches. Even though those coaches, a lot of people clown them, I still think they are good coaches because they're under Bill Belichick. I've never seen a bad coach on Bill Belichick's staff. When you leave, you might be bad. But while you're there, you're going to be good. You're going to be phenomenal. So I'll say that. All right, guys. So I'll get to the losers in a minute. Let me get to some of the chat questions. Okay. Raider Nation. He says, Amir Abdullah, bro. Yes, you said it. You know, me and you was on it. I told you that was a good deal. I know fantasy. A lot of people, they want top bell cows, bro. That's why they always struggling. You win with guys like Amir Abdullah, right? I won with Rashad Penny last year. Nobody started that man. That man was like 10% started into the playoffs. So I get it, bro. That's why I told you. I said, yes, if it depends on your team, that's not a bad pickup. Way to go, bro. You deserve to win the 12 Disciples League. Guys, he's in one of my leagues. It don't look great for me in this one. Guys, out of 14 leagues, I'm on the way to go to the playoffs in 10. And a couple of big money leagues, I'm not doing well in. So I want to give my homie that's been following me, he's a friend of Pretty Richie. He's doing really well. He got Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes, and they've taken them to a championship. So great pickup, bro. Great job. Eric, what's going on, Eric? He said, I need Muth to get 8 points or I lose. Bro, you got that. I'm going to put that as a 70% chance of happening. The Muth should get 8 points. Now, you're not in tight end premium, so I got to be fair. It might be tough because 8 points can be a lot for a tight end. But I think with his touchdown upside that he do have and him being hyper-targeted, I think you can't ask for a better situation tonight. So I think, bro, I'm going to give you, because it's not tight end premium, I'm thinking of my leagues, I'm going to give you a 65% chance of winning. And Eric says, I picked up Hollywood Brown off of waivers last week. Yeah. And you see I don't think he got that many targets this game. But I think he's going to be fine going forward. But that's why I told people to just lower your expectations. And Mr. Anderson says, what you think is going on with Kamara and Mike Evans? I know Kamara was dealing with a sickness all week, but damn, I agree with you. And I'm going to get to that, bro. He's on my losers. So I'm going to get to that in a minute. And let me see. Let me make sure I ain't leaving nobody. But I will address Mike Evans. Mike Evans is Mike Evans. He'll drop a ball. He's a basketball player, bro, that played football late as a junior. And you can always tell that. Like, his ball skills is not always the top, but he's good enough to catch it and make catches. So I say with Mike Evans, don't get caught up in the numbers. Just know that he's the alpha wide receiver on this, along with Godwin, but he's the number one, and you just got to keep rolling him out there. I don't think you can play matchups with Mike Evans, because if you do, you will lose out on this boom week. That's how I think Mike Evans is. And he says, how do you feel about Akins and Conklin? Conklin all day. I'm not going to that. That's going into a brothel, bro, looking for women. Trying to pick up Akins is like going into a brothel and trying to pick up a woman and talking about you want to go on a date with her. That shit probably won't work out. So that's what Akins is. But Conklin, he's consistent. I trust him. That's a housewife for you right there. And Josh Cohn says, garbage can Lazard lost me this week. Garbage, okay. Can Lazard lost me this week. Here I go into 8th place in a 10-team league. Yeah, bro, it be like that sometimes. Listen, Lazard wasn't a bad play. Aaron Rodgers went down with his thumb and he couldn't get it to him. So the only reason why any wide receiver was fantasy valuable was because Jordan Love got it to Christian Watson, and he's a boom guy, right? So I'm not going to expect that out of Lazard to take it set me. But what I would say, bro, if Aaron Rodgers don't play, I don't know what Lazard might not be startable. But if Aaron Rodgers playing, I'm going to keep rolling him out there as a wide receiver 3 or a flex. All right, so let me get to my losers. The losers, guys, for the quarterbacks is Kyle Allen from the Houston, Texas. So that lets you know I'm not trusting nobody on this offense. The only guy that I might play might be Nico Collins or maybe Brandon Cooks. Other than that, I'm not touching nobody on this team. Now, Dameon Pierce, if I got Dameon Pierce, if I got running backs that I think is better than him or wide receivers that I think is better than him, then I will sit him because he's a flex play now. Not because of his talent, it's because of the offensive script, the game script. So if they got a great matchup, if they play in Atlanta, you might want to play Dameon Pierce. But if they playing a good team that's going to score a lot of points, you might want to sit Dameon Pierce. That's about bro. So Kyle Allen, he's just a jag. I'm not going to count on him to do anything other than some garbage time to help me in fantasy help my players win. That's what he is. And the next loser, I got one more loser for quarterbacks, is Russell. Last name Wilson. Russell. Last name Wilson. Yes, guys, Russell Wilson. And the reason why, guys, Russell Wilson is a loser, I'm not going to put it all on him, but 65% of it is his fault. It's just bad. They didn't get what they thought they was getting. And I think Russell kind of knew that. And that's why he like, come on, let's ride Bronco Nation. He like, this is who I am. I'm going to get better, though. So you cannot no longer start Russell. If you got him in Dynasty, hold on to him. Don't give him away for nothing. Wait till he can have 2 consistent games, then you might want to get off of him. So Russell is a loser. And it is what it is. You got to find another quarterback. I'd rather go get a guy like Mike White, Jordan Love, if Aaron Rodgers is out, and maybe even Taylor Heineke. I might play Taylor Heineke over Russell Wilson. I said what I said, guys. All right, moving on to my running back losers. The first one is Antonio Gibson. Again, I think Antonio Gibson is extremely talented. I love Antonio Gibson. That was one of the first players that I made a video on when I started my YouTube channel. But Ron Rivera, to me, is outdated, and I'm tired of Ron Rivera shit. Andy Reid wouldn't do that. Andy Reid ain't bench Pacheco fumble. He didn't bench him. CEH fumble. He didn't bench him. I'm tired of him benching guys. He's old school. He's outdated. Now he does I like the way I love like Pete Carroll's game script. I love Ron Rivera's game script. But Pete Carroll let a quarterback do him when he needs to. He can evolve. Pete Carroll, guys, even though he started coaching in the 80s, Pete Carroll can coach in the 2000s because he can go to that game script. Where Ron Rivera don't want no other game script but the 80s and the 70s and shit. On the Bears that he played on. That's the type of game script that he respect. So to me, I'm getting off Antonio Gibson. And would I play him if the situation is right? Yeah. I'm not saying I'm completely done with him, so I'll play him if the situation right. Next is Alvin Kamara. Now listen, he was sick all week, so I'm not hopping on his talent. But he's no longer an RB1 or an RB2. He is a flex play now. So if you got better guys that you feel better about as in your belly and you like them, sit Alvin Kamara. If he boom, don't worry about it. Now, if he'd have boomed the other weeks and you set him, that's your fault. If he boom anymore, you cannot sit him. It's playoff time. You can't be holding on to nobody like that. Now, listen, if you are 8-3 and you killing it, you on your way to the playoffs, then you might can afford to keep putting them out there. But if you got to win to put them in there, you got to win to get in the playoffs, do not put Alvin Kamara in your lineups anymore. All right. And let me see. Moving on to the tight ends, guys. Greg Dotritz is a loser. It's because of Russell Wilson. Russell, last name Wilson, it's because of him, guys. So with Russell Wilson not being able to get these guys the ball out in space, I can't start Greg Dotritz anymore. I can't start him. Not while Russell started. If Brett Rippin come in, I might start Greg Dotritz. And last but not least is Taysom Hill. Don't start him anymore until he have, I would say, 2 games of putting up 30 points or 20 points. I'm not starting him. I would rather go stream a tight end like Josh Oliver, Isaiah Likely before I go pick up Taysom Hill and think he's going to go for a boom game, right? So that's just me. So, guys, let me get to the chat. Appreciate everybody being in here. Okay, let me see where I'm at. Rich Hicks says, what up, dogs? Does Deion Jackson in the Colts game plan going? Does Deion Jackson in the Colts game plan going forward? If Taylor goes down, he's a lotto ticket. No, he's not, because they're not going to use him the same. And I saw that. Like, he going to catch passes. Could he be used like Samaje Perine? Yes. But I don't think he's going to get 25 or 30 carries. Jonathan Taylor will get 30 carries. Deion Jackson will never get 30 carries. I could be wrong, but that's just my assessment. So, yes, do you want to handcuff him if you can? Yes, if you got room, but he's not the number one handcuff. And Rich Hicks says, what up, dogs? Okay, is that the same one? Yes, that's the same one. Oh, okay, he just corrected it. Okay, got you, bro. And Elias, what's up, bro? He says, I traded Mecole Hardman and James Robinson for Garrett Wilson 2 weeks ago. Finally paying off. That's what I'm talking about. That's cutting edge, bro. That's cutting edge, because you probably didn't need Mecole or James Robinson. And so you went on, took 2 guys that they're very volatile, and packaged them for a guy that had potential could win the league for me. It wasn't like everybody, when nobody go, oh, Garrett Wilson is a league winner. But you know he potentially could be. That's what it's about. You don't have to see everything. You got to make anticipation moves. And he anticipated Garrett Wilson being a good wide receiver. And he hit. And with Mike White being in there, he got something. He got the sauce. Great job, Elias. Great job, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Working all day, guys, drinking them energy drinks. Shaw Jr. says, what up, TD dog? Hey, funny man, but I be preaching at the same time, bro. Got you. Yep. You know it. That's me. Okay. And Elliot says, yep, James Robinson was just there since the beginning of the season, and Hardman was my waiver pickup. Got rid of both. Good job, bro. Way to look for the future. That's what I'm talking about. Make sure you hit the like button, guys, to subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content here. And Elliot says, also, I've been good. Thanks for asking, bro. Yeah, anytime, bro. Yes, sir. So let me see about some of these guys. So, guys, I'm going to read out my winners and losers. So the winners for the quarterback is Mike White, Derek Carr, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, and Taylor Heineke. Those are my winners for the week, guys, that I think, has some implications for week 12 where we can move forward, take something and move forward off of it. The losers are Kyle Allen and Russell Wilson. And I think the same thing. Those are implications that we can use going forward. I don't want those guys at all. Running back. Winners are Samaje Perine. I love Samaje. I told people to play him. Hopefully y'all did. A.J. Dillon. Rashad White. I like Rashad White too. Deontay Foreman and Isaiah Pacheco. And the 2 losers are Antonio Gibson and Alvin Kamara. Those 2 losers aren't terrible, but the game script and the stuff that's going on, we have to make them flex plays, and we have to make them week-to-week starters. Wide receivers. Winners are Christian Watson for week 12. Christian Watson, Chris Godwin, Zay Jones, DJ Moore, and Garrett Wilson. So we can take those guys and look what they did this week, and we can use some of the information and make assessments going forward. That's why I talk about winners and losers, and I'm not talking about everybody, because everybody don't tell me what's going to happen going forward. And I can miss a couple guys on here that could be really good plays too. And the losers are Christian Kirk and Devontae Smith. Now, listen, the reason why Christian Kirk is a loser, guys, and I might have missed that, I'm sorry. But the reason why Christian Kirk is a loser is not that he's not good. It's just that he is a guy that we relied on as a top 12 guy because of what he did earlier, and he didn't do that. And Zay Jones came through. But even though with that, guys, I think this is a guy that you want to kind of pick up or buy low on if you can, because I don't think he's a terrible player. I just think that he wasn't the guy for that game. It was a Zay Jones game. So that's why I bought him up as a loser. He's a loser, but he's not a loser going forward. That's why I wanted to talk about him and let y'all know. Go buy low on him if you can, or don't be sad by this guy. So you still put him in your lineup because he still is hyper-targeted. He still had a lot of targets. And Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith is a guy that you kind of have to just roll out there because you don't have a perfect scenario. But when Dallas Goedert is out, you kind of have to just take a dud if he gives you a dud. I'm not going to sit there and try to say to play matchups with him when Jalen Hurts has a good matchup, because I feel like you can miss the boom game. It don't take but one big play. So if you got a good team and you can put him as the flex play, that's what he is. He's not a person that I'm saying, he's going to give me 20 points every week or 15 points. His floor is terrible. His ceiling is terrible, but it can happen, right? So he's still a good wide receiver on a good offense. And I'm going to read out the tight ends. The winners are Josh Oliver, David Njoku, Dalton Schultz, TJ Hawkinson, and Hunter Henry. And my two losers are Greg Dulcich and Taysom Hill. All right, so let me get back. And Elliot says, you got any props for tonight? Yes, I do. I like Kenny Pickett to go over his passing yards. I like George Pickens to go over his catches, as long as it ain't no more than 4. I think George Pickens can get 6 catches today. So if it's 4, I would pick that over. If Kenny Pickett is 200 yards, I'm going over that. If it's 1 touchdown, I'm picking over on that. Jonathan Taylor, I'm not messing with that. But do I think Michael Pittman could get 8 catches? Yes. So if his about 4 to 5 catches, I would take the over props bets for Michael Pittman too, bro. Great question, though, Elias. Great question. Great question. And Shad says, need big move from the Steelers to give me 9.1. Another person said that earlier, bro. They needed 8, so I get it. And PPR tonight, how I think I'm looking. How you think I'm looking? I think you're looking good. For 9 points, now it's not tight end premium, so it's going to be a little tough, but it's Pat Freiermuth, and he one of the most hyper-targeted tight ends to Travis Kelce, so it can happen. He says, the Christian Watson you gave been working out for me. Bro. Thanks, bro. Anytime, bro. Anytime. I don't hit on everything, bro, but I hit on some things. And Mr. Anderson says, since I traded for CMC, he's been a little above average. Yeah, since I traded for CMC, he's been a little above average. Yeah, it is what it is, man. He's going to share targets. They're going to keep him healthy. But for the real playoffs, that's what they're doing. So for the fantasy playoffs, bro, it is what it is. You just got to roll them out there, CMC. And Mr. Anderson says, would you roll with Treylon or Mike Evans in the flex next week? So this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to move Mike Evans up to my wide receivers. Now, if you're in an 8-man league, I get it. You might have to choose because you're in an 8-man league and there's a lot of good wide receivers out there. You just got to choose the right ones. I'm putting Mike Evans over Treylon every week until I see Treylon get hyper-targeted like A.J. Brown was in Tennessee. I didn't see that. I saw a guy that they are trying to implement an offense, but over Mike Evans, no, not yet. So I'm going to start Mike Evans this week over Treylon. That doesn't mean Treylon won't overtake him or score better, but I'm not getting that cute. That's just my situation. That's my preference. I'm not going to play play Treylon Burks over Mike Evans. Way too many targets to do that. Rich Hicks says, I got a good problem. I have Water, Lockett, Thielen, Wilson, and Watson. Would you play the matches going forward? Let me see. Waddle, you got to have in your lineup. But I'm going to give you 3 guys that you got to have in your lineup no matter what. And then the rest of the guys, you can use the third guy if you want to play them over in a matchup. Waddle got to be in your lineup every week if he's healthy. Now, if he don't practice, but he comes out there, then maybe you can use that. But if Waddle's healthy, you got to put him in your lineup every week. Garrett Wilson, I'm not gonna say he's a must start every week, but he's on the way. So I'm definitely having Waddle and Wilson in my lineup every week with Mike White being the quarterback. And Watson would be the next guy. So you can play matchups with Lockett and Thielen over Watson. And I love Watson, but he's volatile. But Waddle and Wilson are locks. But Lockett, Thielen, and Watson are matchups. So you can play the matchups with those three guys. Great question, though, Rich. Great question. 12-man, 2 wide receiver, and 1 flex. Gotcha. Yeah. So hopefully that helped you out, bro. Great question, though. And Elliot says, also, if you use prior picks, there's a special line for Najee. Over under 52.5 rushing yards. I paired that up with a couple basketball picks. Okay, bro, I'm a little nervous with the 52.5. I'd rather go with a touchdown. I think he's going to score anytime touchdown. That's what I like with Najee, an anytime touchdown. Over the yards. Now, if it was like 40 or 30, which is probably not going to be that, right? But I'm not putting no 52 yards on Najee because Najee can have 2 rushing touchdowns for 48 yards and catch 6 balls for 70. Like, he don't have to have a lot of rushing yards. So I wouldn't go with the over and under yards. I would go with the touchdown upside. And Shai says, sorry about the typos. It's all good, bro. Spell check. Okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. No problem, bro. All right, guys. So hopefully I think I helped out everybody. I done went through all the questions in the chat. Make sure y'all sign up for the OnlyFans, guys. And I'll see y'all guys later. Let's get these dubs tonight. Yes, sir. Peace. Hold on. I seen 2 questions before I get out of here. Let me see. Okay. So Elliot says, I don't think there's an anytime touchdown score for anyone besides JT on Prize Picks. Because they get it. They know Najee gonna get a touchdown, bro. I feel it. Yes, sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. And Rich Hicks gives me the thumbs up. Thank you, bro. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button, guys. I appreciate everybody being in here. And wait a minute. Did I kick? Hey, Kevin, I'm sorry, bro. I did not mean to skip over your question. I apologize 100%. He says, what it do, baby? What's up, bro? What's up? And Elliot says, thank you for everything as usual. Thank you, bro. Anytime. And Mr. Anderson says, good work, bro. Thank you. Hey, I felt it today, bro. I'm motivated. I had a couple guys like you, Mr. Anderson, and also my homeboy, Racky. And he just hit me up and said, man, keep doing your thing. Everything gonna move along. So, guys, I do this because I love it. And I know everything is gonna work itself out. So I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you always showing support. Yes, sir. All right, guys, y'all be safe. Peace.